After these courtesy minutes, thank you, and let's start our today's webinar on the training aspects of this My Sustainable Forest suite of products. Well, first of all, I would like to say hello. My name is Julia Yagüe. I'm the project manager, but today what is important is what our technicians will present to you on the results of this project, and which is commercial more than anything. And things are ready for you to use, and today we want to show you. But on top of everything, what is most important is your participation. For all the attendants, you are here. Thank you so much for that. We will interact with you with some active questions and answers that we would like you to respond. And at any moment, please write your questions and answers in the chat provided by the system. And please be ready to participate in some polls, some questions that, and you will see the results immediately. I think that this is going to be quite active through this application menti.com. So please have near you your smartphones to be able to answer to these questions. Either you can do it through the laptop and also through the smartphone. So I just wanted to super briefly, 2 minutes, summarize the project that is coming to an end. We will be concluding next November. And in this My Sustainable Forest project, we have been working in 6 countries, from Portugal, Spain, France, Croatia, Czech Republic, and Lithuania. 10 partners. Some of them are industrial, more industrial and producers, and the others have been stakeholders in different forestry sectors and forestry associations and industries, so covering many different aspects. And the products that we will show you today have been developed with more than 50 professionals involved. We have been very lucky of having 6 validators, 6 foresters, either companies or associations, testing and validating. And we have worked basically upon 5 data sources: satellite information, LiDAR data, statistical data, as well as in situ and wood quality data measured in a non-invasive, with non-invasive techniques. So all that has been tested in 16 different sites throughout Europe, and we have covered over more than 500,000 hectares to test all these products. So the revisiting and the testing, etc., has been very, very thorough. All in all, we have 21 products. We are going to show you today just 6 of them. I know that if you registered with time, you have already received some guidelines and technical guidelines, and we will cover those today with more details. In time, you will be able to access all our 25 published 19 scientific papers that we have published, and also access and visit our website as well as our platform. You will learn about all this today, and now I would like to give the ground to my technical colleagues, and please stay in touch with us and answer the questions we will facilitate throughout the morning. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone, also from my side. My name is Valentino from EFI, and I will be acting as the virtual facilitator of today's webinar. So in the next slide, you will see the agenda of today's webinar. As Julia already presented you, we're going to go over 4 main products that have been developed in these years in the project by using the user guides that are available in our website that you were also provided beforehand, so that you hopefully had the chance to look into that. The structure is very much standardized. We're going to give 5 minutes to the producer to present in a pitch the main technicalities and characteristics of the product. And then afterwards, we're going to interact with you through Mentimeter in another 5 minutes. What is Mentimeter? Mentimeter is an interactive pooling tools which allow us to, first of all, collect your feedback on the different aspects of these products, as well as present the feedback in real time. Finally, we're going to end with some presentation from the product request form and the service platform, as well as Q&A and the closure of the event. So next, in the next slide, you see that what we need you to do is to be active, as Julia said. So please grab your smartphone, tablet, or if you don't have so, use the browser, another window of your browser, and go to www.menti.com. To see that everybody is in the same page, you will see also in the chat the link direct to access to the Menti platform. Please go in the platform and type the code that you see in the slide. We will use this code to ask you an introductory question, which allow us to understand who are you, and also to understand whether you understand how to use the platform. In which sector or forestry related area are you working? So it's a really basic descriptive questions for you participants. So please answers. As you can see, some people are already answering. We see that we have industry present, as well as academia and consultancy. Please get to know the platform. As you can see, it's quite easy. You just need to type the answers, and also to include the codes that we're going to pass you in order to access the different pools. So we see that almost 50% of the so far participants comes from the research world, but we have as well a representative from the industry and administrations. And I think this is very nice, because the product that we have developed are both from practitioner, but as well as from researcher perspective. Okay, I will just leave 1 more minute for you to get to know the platform and reply to these questions. If we move to the next slide, you can still access the questions, so you can still reply if you didn't have the time to do so. So please do so, because we're going to use your feedback in the next phases of the project to iterate again the user guides that we have produced according to your feedback, and as well as for further marketing aspects of our product. So to not lose more time, I would like to give the word and the floor to our first speaker, our first producer, who is Ángel Fernández from GMB. And he's going to present a product from the service ecosystem, which is the product Biodiversity. So Ángel, the floor is yours. You have 5 minutes for your presentation.
Okay, hello everyone. At MySustainableForest, we have prepared 6 user guides corresponding to 6 of our key products. And I will present this first one, which is the Biodiversity product user guide. The idea is that forest managers and institutions can directly benefit from this product. As you know, remote sensing data provides low cost and regular forest information, which can be used to assess or to monitor forest biodiversity. Our product assesses the tree biodiversity of forest communities using a set of different diversity indices. In a nutshell, with this product, you can assess the landscape ecology of your forest, plan ecosystem restoration activities to revert forest biodiversity loss, monitor the biodiversity levels of your forest, and complete your biodiversity assessment with other MySustainableForest products, such as the habitat fragmentation product. Okay. So, which was the challenge? As you know, climate change is one of the most important drivers of biodiversity loss. So there is a need of reliable data on forest biodiversity to plan ecosystem restorations or mitigate the risks related to natural disturbances. Usually, biodiversity indicators are obtained through substantial fieldworks at substand level. The problem here is that even when these biodiversity indicators, these field-based indicators, might be more precise than the remote sensing-based indicators, fieldwork is costly and biodiversity indicators are hard to update. In this sense, remote sensing can be a solution as it provides low cost and regular information about the forest. Okay, so the solution we propose is this biodiversity product. Our product basically represents the biodiversity of forest communities through the spatial distribution of indices that account for dominant tree species, for dominant species diversity. To derive this product, other inputs are needed. I will explain this with this flowchart. We need three inputs, which are the forest mask, which is another MySustainableForest product. We need some dominant species samples to be provided by the user. And then we use Sentinel-2 images as main input. It is important to note that the quality of the dominant species samples provided by the user will have a direct influence on the accuracy of the three output diversity indices that we are providing. Well, then we take these three inputs, forest mask, dominant species samples, and sentinel images, and using a machine learning algorithm, we obtain a species probability map. Then we apply another algorithm to this species probability map. Our biodiversity algorithm is based on spectral diversity and fuzzy logic. And with this algorithm, we obtain the three outputs, which are the Simpson index, which represents dominance, the Shannon-Wiener index, which represents abundance, and the PLU index, which represents the evenness in the forest community. Okay, so you as users, what do you need to provide? So it's very simple. You just need to provide your area of interest with coordinates or with any GIS vector format or anything would be okay. And what will you obtain? So you will obtain maps of forest biodiversity of your area of interest, three maps with these three biodiversity indices. All these outputs would be accessible on the MySustainableForest platform, which will be explained later by my colleague Beatriz. And the full technical specifications are also available at the MySustainableForest website. So this is an example of how the outputs look like in a forest in Lithuania. And this information would be available in the MySustainableForest platform. And as you see, you would have three outputs: the Simpson index, Shannon-Wiener index, the PLU index. And okay, that's all from me. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Angel, for these quick and to-the-point presentations. We now move, as I presented before, to the interactive part. So again, please get your smartphone and type in the code that you can see in the slide. This code is 5804216. Through that, you are able to access our Mentimeter. And in a minute, we will be displaying the Mentimeter page. So the code is the following, 5004216. And we can go now to the Mentimeter page, in which shortly we will be able to access the results. So the first question is, how would you rate this product? Do you find it usable, what you were looking for, or a product which is not usable, that is not fulfilling your needs? So it seems that the replier are find it okay, a product which can satisfy some of their needs. For some of the respondents, it's a very good product, but we have as well some of the response which highlights certain necessities of improvement of the products, as well as few respondents, luckily are few of them, which find the products unusable for their needs, which is perfectly fine, as this product can be designed for a specific categories of forestry end users. Okay, we will wait a few more seconds on these slides, but I think it's clear that the majority of the people find these products, rate this product as okay. Okay, we can move to the next question. Feel free, if you are a late respondent, to go back to this first question and reply, as it's still available for you. Here we want to know what are the main interesting features that this product has for you. You will have a different set of options you can choose among. For instance, the availability of historical data, the spatial resolution that this product provides, the innovative approach that we have implied to develop these products, the frequency of update, the possibility to upscale this tool to large scales application, the scientific methods or the validation methods behind. I see that some respondents are starting to type in some questions. As you can see, the graph gets populated. What is highlighted is the innovative approach, which I guess is the possibility of mapping biodiversity using remote sensing tools, but also the possibility of doing large-scale applications, as well as frequency of update, which is something that using EO observation allow us to do, to frequently update the products. Some respondents are also highlighting the spatial resolutions of the products. I see more votes going towards the large scale application, which is a valuable option, and as well as the spatial resolutions. Okay, I think we can move to the next question. Before we ask you what were the characteristics that you can value the most in this product, now we would like to know what is not there. What does this product that does not meet? What is missing from this product, sorry. So again, you will have similar characteristics, and we would like to know from you what you find missing in this product that we can take into consideration for further improvement of the products by the producer. This is feedback which is really relevant to the different producers, because they will be able to reflect on it and take into considerations. So I see that some people are highlighting the validation methods, so they would like to know more information on how the accuracy and what is the methods behind the validation, the output that the product is providing. Some issues are also related to the output. I guess maybe the map, just the map is not enough. They would like to see something more. There are also some concern regarding the historic data and the spatial resolution. Feel free, if you would like to give us more information, to type a message in the chat so that we can take into considerations for the Q&A discussions. But I see that mostly of the respondents agree on the issues of the validation methods. Thank you. So we can move to the next slide, which is about whether the information that this product provides to you, biodiversity indices, it's something that you receive already from other entities. And if you do so if you receive it from other entities, we would like to know which type of entities give you this type of information, whether they are European level entity, national or regional authorities, municipalities, or other type of providers. As expected, I would see from biodiversity type of products, the majority of information comes at national and regional level, but also there is a component of European Environmental Agency and some others, which will be interesting to know which other type of provider address you this type of informations. Okay, I think we can move to the next question. Okay, this is a very open questions. Do you have any specific comments you would like to make on these products? Way of improving, positive feedbacks, critic feedbacks, something that you think it's missing, something that you think it's really good of this product, something that you would like us to know. We can take it now, and then if we have some time, we can reflect on those during the Q&A session. Any other comments about this product? I'm going to give you half a minute more to think about it and provide us some comments. I see one coming in. Are shrubland species considered as well as tree ones? Okay, so Angel stored these comments and maybe we can go back to that later on. I see a very straightforward comment. We are late, which I don't know how to interpret. Okay. So I think I see more simpler for user, another comment which is coming in. Okay, perfect. Okay, we can move now who is using it. So who is the end user of the products? Okay, relevant. Okay, let's move now to the final questions. This is for those that have accessed the user guides. So we sent you pre-hand some user guides, and we would like to know what is your feedback on it. What is whether the user guides is catchy, well designed, and provide the info that you need, or whether it's confusing and it's failing in attracting your interest. This information again is very relevant because it allows us to modify some of their components in order to better align to your characteristics. So if you have had time, a chance to look into the product user guides that we sent you over that are available also in the website, please let us know what do you think on it. Okay, some people are replying, saying that the guides provide the info needed, but then there are also some criticism, and also some other comments that we can take into consideration later. It seems that the majority so far of the votes, which are probably not representative because some new votes might come later, it's that the user guide is done okay and provide the info with some criticism that we will take into considerations. So thank you for your interaction during this first presentation. I think we can move now to the second set of product. We have now our second producer, who is Esther Merlo from Madera Plus, that is going to present you a product from the wood characterization service, and the product that she will present is the wood density ranking. So similar as for Angel, Esther, you have 5 minutes to pitch your product. Thank you.
Sorry. Hello, everybody. Thank you for attending. My name is Esther Merlo, manager in the company Madera Plus. I'm going to explain to you how and why we have developed the wood density product. Remotely sensed data can quickly generate the cartography of basic wood density, reducing cost. For that, a mathematical model was developed ad hoc based on satellite climatic, physiographic data, and wood density data at the field level. With these products, you can obtain basic wood density properties at substand level at time close to the cutting edge of trees, and with that, take more efficient strategic business decision before clear cuts. But also you can improve the accuracy of CO2 stocking estimation, or to use this product as indirect forest mass susceptibility to climate change. And finally, with these products, you can complete the characterization of wood together with the other products developed for wood stiffness and strength class characterization. What is the challenge? Basic wood density influence product quality and industrial processing, but the knowledge of wood density is very expensive in the forest. And to date, wood density are obtained through substantial hard field works at subsystem level. The solution, we present this solution, wood density product. The product represents a map, in a map, the average basic wood density values in kilogram by cubic meters through a spatial distribution 30 by 30 meters. It's the first remote tool for wood density prediction in Europe, applying a mathematical model developed ad hoc for a specific forest type. And currently, it's active only to Eucalyptus globulus from Galicia and Portugal. And the mathematical model have 80% of accuracy and 28 kilogram cubic meters confidence interval. For validation, this is the continuous optimization is predicted by new field data, at least one field data by 100 hectares of service. So it's a new opportunity to reduce the cost and time. And with this product, it's possible to rank in extended areas. Now we have preliminary algorithms also for Kerpurobus in Croatia and Piscia abies in Czech Republic, but the product is currently active only for Eucalyptus globulus. What do you need to provide? Because the user has to provide only also the geolocation of the area of interest through coordinate or this vector layer for a specific forest type. And what will you obtain? You obtain a map providing you with a classification of a stand in your AOE into good density ranked areas. The classification file is accessible through platform, and info can be downloaded to any standard GIS viewer with a web map service. And this is an example from Galicia. We show area with the different Eucalyptus globulus plantation. The yellow color is the lower wood density, and the red color is the higher wood density. This information is available in the platform. So for me, I think that is interesting for you.
Thank you, Esther. Thank you for your presentations. So similarly to before, we're now going to grab our smartphone and we're going to access the Mentimeter platform with the code that you can see in the screen. So 1413782. 1413782, and you will have a few questions again to go through, and we can see together what is your feedback on the product that Esther developed within the MySustainableForest and just presented you. Okay, now we move to the questions. And the first question is whether you are interested in incorporating wood quality variables in characterizing your forest stands. I see that for the respondents so far, this is a yes, is a clear yes. So they see that wood quality variables are extremely relevant in order to better characterize the forest stands. Thank you for that. So we might move into the next questions. Again, we would like to know what are the main features that interest you of such products, whether it is an innovative product that fills an innovation gap that is currently not available, whether it's the possibility of customized output, the multiple small scales application, the large scales application, or the scientific method behind the development and the validation. Some answers are flowing in. I see that what is seems to be quite valued by our respondent is the multiple small scale application of the product. So I guess the possibility of applying it at stand level. Yes, it's appear that this is the main feature, which is, well, there are others which are evaluated, but this is the one that has the majority of the votes. We can now move to the next question, which similarly to before is about, now it's about rating some statements regarding this product, your interest, whether you think that this product allows you to optimize wood supply, whether you think that this product can optimize CO2 calculation, whether something that is interest for you, yes or no, whether through this product you are able to predict tree stress and pest susceptibility, or whether with this product, what you would like to know is the variability of wood density in a specific area of interest. Okay, I see that one person replied that would like this product for all of the features, but appears that now that more votes are coming in, that there is a specific interest for CO2 calculation, which is quite relevant. But on the other side, so we have, this is the highest response so far. But others also rate the characteristic, simply the characteristic of the products of giving the possibility of rate the variability of wood density in a specific stand, which is also interesting and relevant. Wood supply appear to have the less appealing for our respondents. Thank you for these questions. We can now move to the next question. Thank you for your answers. In this question, what we would like to know is, again, your interest, very low or very high, in two specific features. The accuracy of the prediction that the model provides you, that the products provides you. The fact that these products allows you to extract ranking between plots in terms of wood density. Some answers are also flowing in. I see that the accuracy is what so far interests the most our respondent. So having a sound model that allows to predict specifically the wood density of the tree species under considerations, but for sure also the ranking feature is valued to a certain extent positively also. Thank you for that. We now move to the final questions, I think. No, not final, almost final. So this is again similar to the one before. Whether you have any specific comments that you would like to make on us on these products so that we can pick it up for the later discussions or for further reflections. I'm going to allow you a few seconds to type in your queries. But again, we will be able to store this information and access it in a second stage. So we have one question flowing in: which remote sensing data is used by the products? So maybe this is something, Esther, you can provide a clarification in the Q&A, or also now. You are on mute, Esther.
Okay, I can respond now, or
yes, I think it's a quick answer, so you can respond now if you'd like.
Okay, we use multi-temporal Sentinel-2 data with different bands through the vegetative period of the trees in the last 3 years. And also the index obtained for the satellite, this Sentinel-2 data.
Thank you, Esther. So we can now move to the next question, which is the last one, which is again about the user guides. So for those that had the time to go through our user guides, and specifically the one related to Esther product, what do you think about it? Is it a nice user guide? It's well designed, it provides you the information you need, or it's rather confusing and you've seen better user guides? Okay, again here, if you haven't had the time to read the user guides, feel free to skip these questions and read the user guide first and provide your feedback later on with no problem. So I see that the respondents provide a positive feedback on the user guides that provide the information needed. And then some also other comments. Okay, so to not lose any more time, as we are few minutes in delay only, I think we can move to our third panelist, who is Inigo Lizarralde from Forest Technologies, that is going to present the user guide related to the service, volume, biomass, and CO2 stocks that they have been developed using LiDAR data sources. So Inigo, the floor is yours. Again, you have 5 minutes for your pitch on your product. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Valentino. Good morning, all. And thank you, all the participants, for being here today. I'm just gonna do a very short presentation on one of the products we've been developing using LiDAR information, and that it's like a triple product because it's volume, above ground biomass, and CO2 stocking. Basically, what we do with this product, is to give information on cartography of wood volume and biomass that can be clearly used for managers and industry, but also to assess carbon sequestration. So for environmental agencies, it can be very important as to produce carbon budget models. Okay, what we wanted to address, the challenge we had, is to give precise estimates of, with using LiDAR information, precise estimates of volume, biomass, and CO2, because as I said, it's essential for the forest industry, but also for forest owners. And especially carbon accounting is key now, and for the last quite a lot of years, but in the future it will be even more important. It's key in a climate change scenario. So carbon is key here. And the challenge is to change from traditional operational inventories that are costly and time consuming and need a lot of field plots to change to some more cheap but still more precise products. So the solution is to develop those volume and biomass products that are LiDAR-based data algorithms. So we use field data, but a few field data with LiDAR point clouds. With that, we develop the algorithms that give us this volume and biomass. And using biomass, then we can develop the CO2 stocking using dry wood biomass and carbon content. And in that case, as it was shown before, the information from wood density can also help quite a lot to this final product. What do I need to provide? What the user needs to provide? But so basically, as most of the other users, you will need to provide an area of interest using just a GIS vector layer shape file usually. You will need to provide LiDAR data if it's not available. You know, some countries have some LiDAR data available, some others not. So depending on that, you will need to provide LiDAR information and field data just to develop the models, but not thought as the field data we were used to think about when we were doing a forest inventory. With that, you will obtain volume, above ground biomass, and CO2 stock maps with different pixel sizes, where where each pixel will have an information. So especially continuous information. That's a very different thing from the traditional inventory. And of course, those files will be shapes also, so you can use them with any GIS software. And of course, files are also metadated. So that's just an example of we have different ones. I said volume, biomass, and CO2. This is just above ground biomass, in this case in an area of eucalyptus in Portugal. And well, that's how it will look like the product as you see in pixels. So I think that's from my side. I think we can go now to Mentimeter.
Thank you, Inigo. Yes, we can go to the Mentimeter. So I think now you are masters of this. The code that you will have to dial is the 60010, 6065010, in order to be able to access the pool related to that specific product that Inigo just presented. Okay, we can move to the first question. So what do you think about this product? Is this product something that is useful for you? Is it something that is totally unusable and you've not even dare to touch it? Okay, it seems that so far the response are positive. There are almost more than 50% of people that find it very good and something that is actually what they were looking for. So we see that there is a specific niche for this type of product derived from LiDAR informations. Okay, we can move to the next question, I think. Similarly to before, we would like to know what are the main features that attract your interest of these products from the presentation that Inigo delivered, but also from the information that you have found in the user guides. Some people highlight the innovative approach. I think this is an interesting take-home message point because it's been highlighted also from the biodiversity product. So it's something that is transversal to the products that we have developed. There are also some response towards the usefulness in forest management and the possibility of applying it at larger scales. And also the fact on some value on the output and on the scientific method that is behind the interpolation of the data in order to obtain the product. More for the innovative approach, which I find interesting, and more also for the forest management operations. Okay, so we can move now to the next questions, which is about what is missing. So what is not there in the product that you would like to have it in order to, well, make a better use, a more efficient use of such product. And okay, some people are pointing out the outputs, so the format of the output. So please, if you have some specific recommendation, please type it into the next line on the comments or send us a comment in the chat so that we can tackle that. Some are highlighting as well what is the validation methods behind. So they would like to know a little bit more of information on the validation methods of the products. And we have as well historic data that has been highlighted as something that is missing from the product. Validation methods appears to come out as the most pointed out issue. We can move to the next question, which is about comments. So maybe linked to what it was missing before. Do you have any comments you would like to provide to this product that we can quickly reply now if the answer is short from with Inigo or later on in the Q&A session? Anything about the validation method that was missing or something about the outputs that was also rated as something that is lacking in the product? What is the format of the input data? I don't know, Inigo, if you have a short answers to that, you want to comment it now?
Yeah, well, depending on the on which input data, if it's LiDAR information, it should be in LAS or LAS formats, like the usual LiDAR data. If not, yeah, if it's field work, it should be an Excel file.
Okay, thank you, Inigo. Any other comments? please drop in here, or you can also use the chat and the later Q&A session. I see no more comments coming in, so we can go to the final question, which is the same for all the panelists. So it's about the user guides. Please send us some feedback on the user guides if you have time. If you had time to going through it, whether the specific user guides on the LiDAR product developed by Inigo within MySustainableForest, it's providing the information that you need, or whether it needs some certain improvement. So I see that the respondents that are coming in highlight that the user guide is fine and provide the information that the end user needs in order to understand the product and also understand what they need to provide and get out from the MySustainable platform. Okay, so we have only 5 minutes of delay, which I think it's perfectly manageable. And I would say we can now move to our fourth and last panelist of today. We have Elena Gorris from the European Forest Institute, who is a producer in MySustainableForest of the Forestry accounting services. And specifically here, she will present the monetary wood account for environmental accounting. So Elena, the screen is yours. You have 5 minutes for your presentation.
Thank you, Valentino. I have also to say that Valentino was also contributing to this product development. And what I'm going to present here is a monetary wood account. This product is actually based on several other products of the MySustainableForest Project, as you will see, and is actually based on 2 previous products that are called land use account and physical wood account. And then let's say that this one that we are going to present here is the most sort of sophisticated one. No? That's the interesting part of it. And is actually following the United Nations System of Environmental Economic Accounting Framework. And that's a very interesting part because in theory, in the future or at some point, the regions and the countries will have to report how the flows and the stocks of their forest are being developed over certain periods. So this is what we are actually producing here. Showing how the evolution of the product of the forest can be shown in terms of in economic terms, and for that reason, yes, so here, as you can see in these circles, let's say that for those that are not familiar with that, the international accounting frameworks, as you may know, the gross domestic product, for example, have some standardization, no? And here, the environmental part enters as a satellite, it's called, and it's actually not very much developed. There are some methodologies, but actually are not geolocated in most of the cases. And this is one of the main advantages, no, that we are providing here. And this information is crucial for making strategic management decisions. And also one possible problem that typically the people that are building these accounts find is that they are based on national forest inventories with all the possible problems that these might entail, like they are costly or are up to regional level, not in lower resolutions. And and then when there is a crisis, maybe the budget can vary here. So relying on remote sensing might be one of the solutions. And this is what we are providing here. So based on more regular and precise remote data, we can provide this type of information, not only in tables, but also geolocated. And what we provide are 2 main aspects: the fixed picture, or how is the forest today or at the end of a period and at the beginning of that period, and we assume that there are several years in between, usually 10 years period, and then the variations, whether we can assign these variations to afforestation, land use change, shifts in species, removals, etc. So what do we need from the client? We of course need the geolocation of the area that we would need to build that product. Then we first need to build the land use account, a physical timber account, and to that end we need several external data that are not remote based, like for example, which are the typical planted tree species, which are strict conservation areas like the borders, other harvested restrictions that of course this is not possible to be detected, these legal restrictions, no, from the remote sensing tools. We would also need the regional or local timber prices in the past years, a few years, to see the evolution, and then if it's applicable, which is the typical harvesting age for each species, or an average for all the species. Then what we can produce is, again, the geolocation or the maps of how the forest stock is in the area in terms of euros per hectare or euros per pixel that one can provide. Actually, the hectare is typically the unit. Then we can reflect how is the forest value, how has it evolved during that period, and then the reasons for the variations. And this is actually an example. I'm not sure if you can distinguish properly, but let's say that the first picture will show the beginning of the period, the last picture, the final period, and then depending on the color, you might see that some pixels have increased their value, some others have decreased the value, and this is helping the forest managers to make their best decisions. So I think that's all. I'm happy to reply any questions.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you for this presentation. So we now go to our last Mentimeter dedicated to the product. So here the code is 3229997, so 3229997. And please use this code in order to access the specific question related to the monetary wood account that Elena just presented. As before, the first question is straightforward. So please rate this product accordingly to your interest. I see that a few people have already voted, and the majority of the people thinks it's okay. So it's something that it's okay, but it doesn't fulfill some specific needs. But there are also few people which actually, they were looking specifically for this kind of product, which I find an interesting finding. And this is a very, we can say, sectorial products that might interest public authorities and specific bodies. So I take it as an interesting result. We can move to the next question, which is about the feature which are interesting within the products. So whether you like the fact that you are able to monetize silvicultural improvements, able to mapping how variation of woods occur, because it has advantages versus usual forest-based inventory account, spatial resolution, the possibility of applying it at different scales, the fact that you can update it frequently because it's based on satellite information, innovative approach, and the scientific methods. So I see that the majority of the response goes towards the monetization component, which is actually the core structure of the product, and the possibility as well to map not just the stock, but the variation of the wood value across referencing years, which are the main reasoning also behind the monetary wood accounts. Okay, we can move to the next question, which is about in the other side of the coin. So what is missing from the products? The fact that it requires external data like wood prices, which are not easy to access, a limitation to LiDAR information that might not be available in your case, the limitation of wood products that is not therefore applied to other type of product you can obtain from forests, the scale, historical data output, and so on and so forth. Okay, some people are highlighting the LiDAR fact and also the external data limitation and the wood products limitation. So maybe a more ecosystem service type of analysis, but the majority of the votes goes toward the fact that it's based on LiDAR information, and this is can be a limitation of such product. But also some votes, late votes, goes also to the wood product limitation. Okay, so we now go to the comment slide. So again, if you type some limitation, maybe you want to further exploit it here, please send us a comment in that we can, if a quick, tackle it now with Elena or otherwise later on during the Q&A. So for instance, any specific comments about this product, any specific prescription on how it can be improved or enhanced from your perspective? I see no. I see just now. Insert other forest products, not only wood. I think this is a relevant comments. Maybe Elena, you want to quickly comment on it, as it covers also the ecosystem approach. Yes, also the other comments is related to that. Interesting to add ecosystem services, CO2, etc. And you consider other variable forest resources, modern timber. So I think they all go in pair, these comments. Maybe Elena, you want to provide 1 minute's reply to that?
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you for these comments. I have to say that the United Nations, the World Bank, they are developing different methodologies. The one that is that has more tradition, or let's say it's already working for a few years, is the one that we just presented, that is focused on timber. But of course, forests are not only timber, and for that reason, there are some working groups developing a methodology for the ecosystem services. So we wanted to first test and try the product with the wood product. Of course, we can also try to adapt for the CO2 that Inigo just presented before. For the ecosystem services, we have not worked in this specific project on that, but let's say that the methodologies, not on remote sensing, but to account for those products are also possible. So maybe in the future we can also develop the techniques for applying this remote sensing.
Thank you, Elena. Yes, also the final comments is related to that line, so to insert non-wood forest products also in these tables. Thank you for all these comments. So the final questions, as usual, whether what is your opinion on the user guides that we have developed, whether the specific user guide on the monetary environmental account was reliable and providing you the information you needed, or actually was confusing, messy, something that you cannot understand at all. So I see that some of those that have read the guide says that it's fine, that provides the information needed for the end users, which is a nice comment to receive. There are also other comments that we can take into consideration later once we will look into the results of the survey. But yes, so far, by the respondents that have replied, the majority says that the user guides provide the information needed. Thank you very much. So I'll thank you all the speakers, and we now moved into with 5 minutes delay. So again, we are fine with that, to the part in which Beatriz Revilla Romero from GMB will present actually how you can request the products through our website, what is the portfolio of the products and how you can access it, and how the platform for servicing the products works. So Beatriz.
Okay, thank you, Valentina, for this introduction. So yeah, on this final block is a bit different. So first I will put you like a video where I will be explaining how you can access the product portfolio and also how you can make a request. And then on the second one, we'll show you how once the data is processed, how you can access the data on the platform. So please, Gerard, would you play the first video? This is the intro. So as I mentioned, so this first video is about how you can access the MySustainableForest website and find more information about all these products that I have previously presented. So first is just the MySustainableForest.com. That's our website with all the information is there. Also the user guides that they have been presented. So on the middle on the top, you can click on the services tab. And you will find this product portfolio. So all the products are organized into 6 different services. And first we have the forest site characterization, good characterization, volume, biomass, and CO2 stocks, forest condition, ecosystem vulnerabilities, and forestry accounting. If you go inside one of them, for example, the forest site characterization, on the left, you will find all the list of the products within the services. And then when you click on them, on the right, you will find all the technical information. So we'll have like a description, main applications, some more information of the spatial and temporal inputs used, and then also like an overview of how the data might look like. And this is the same for each of the services. So once you are interested in a product, you can click on the request a product, and then this will bring you into the product request form, which has just 6 steps. It's very simple. So first, you need to select a product, for example, the forest mask. Then second, you need to provide that which is your area of interest. So you have 2 ways. One, you can draw here in the map your area, or even better, you can provide us a shape file as a zip of your data, and then we will receive that so we know where you are working. If you hide your cadastral reference, you can also provide us. Third, you need to select your time of interest. So for example, in this case, August 2020. There is some data, some products that need auxiliary data, can be ground data. So for example, this is the case of the main forest type, where we need some information on dominant species. This information typically comes from forest inventory or the ground data set that forest manager have. Fifth, you need to give us your contact details so we can contact you. And then 6, one of the important parts is that you can describe here your needs, so we know better how this we can provide you with data sets. And then just click submit, and then we will receive in an email all this information. And we'll contact you to speak more about which product fits you best. So that was the first video. So now we're going to like a couple of questions on the Mentimeter again. Very simple. Perhaps some of you already have time to play with the forest portfolio on the website. So feel free to answer now or later on after the webinar, whether maybe you have gone and play a bit more. So we just wanted to know, what do you think about the product portfolio, where we try to make a very simple way to translate all the technical information. So do you think it's like user-friendly design, whether it is interesting, clear sections, or visually appealing? So to access that, as my colleague Erika put on the link on the chat, is the 5325697. So I leave a few seconds if you want to value this, but otherwise, please, after the webinar, you can go and have a look at all the information that's there, and you can give us the feedback of what you think about it. Okay, we can probably go now into the next one, but thank you everyone that is currently voting. We'll review all the results later on, and make comments wherever we find there is some still limitations or where we want to improve some of the areas. So thank you for that. Next question, please, Gerard. Okay, so this is the same 5 areas for you to value, but this time is related to the product request form. So the product request form is also public, so it's available for everyone. So you can either vote now if you want. So this is where we will present the 6 different steps that we need information from you, so we can then contact you and start the conversation of which of the products and type of data, like satellite, LiDAR, might fit you best. So yeah, thank you for everyone that is voting so far. Quite positive feedback, so thank you for that. And yeah, feel free to, after you also like play, you know, like have a look in detail. If you want to provide further feedback, please do so. So thank you. And I think that's the last question currently on the Mentimeter, so we can pass now. And we go to the second video. So the second video is also, oh, sorry. Any comments here that you would like to tell us how we can improve either the product portfolio, so where you have all the technical specifications that we try to make it as clear as possible, but always you can improve that. So any comments on technical specifications portfolio, or the questionnaire where you can request the data? Please, if any comments now or later on in the chat, you can add them here. So. think we can probably move on, and then we can later on review if there were any additional comments. Okay, so now we have the second video that's only just over 3 minutes, so we'll show you. So once you have looked at the product portfolio, you got interested in one, you have done the product request with very simple stuff. And then we have the conversation. You can access the platform once we give you the credentials. So you go into msfplatform.com and enter the credentials that we previously provide you. And on the top, you just need to click accept on the cookies as many other websites. So this is the My Sustainable Forest product catalog, but also like all the commercial outputs will be included here for each of the clients. So the catalog is kind of has two different ways of you can browse the data. One is the Inspire and the other different topics. In this case, we select this related to the species distribution, and you can have further filters. So in this case, main forest type. And this will do like a filter, because at the moment we have over 200 data sets for all the different areas included into the project. So if we click in one of them, which is this, for example, of the main forest type in Croatia, every data set is included. I have the title, a bit of description, and then you will find some other useful information, such as keyword that we already like classified the data. So straight away you find some information. And then also you will find the technical and metadata information of all the data included there follow all the standards. On the right side, you will find information related to the temporal and the spatial extents and a picture of the overview. But then there are two main areas, is the download and the visualization. So to download the data is very simple. You just need to click on the download button, add again your credentials for security, and then straight away the product will be downloaded. So in this case, it's a TIFF file, so it's a raster. And then you can do further analysis. The second option is to visualize the data. So you click on the add map, and they will bring you to the data set. So what you need to do is to zoom to the layer. So in this case, you go straight into this area, which is in Croatia. And then you can see the data sets, as well as the background information for reference. You can see the legend, where in this case is the main forest type present. And there's some tools that allow you to do some basic calculations online. So for example, this is just to measure the area of a specific forest plot. But you can use, you can overlap different products. And in this case, we will visualize the biodiversity product that was previously presented by one of my colleagues, Angel. So sometimes it can be useful to see different data sets at the same time. And then you can, one of the main features to visualize the data is before you download the data, to do further analysis offline together with your own data sets, you can straight away see some of the information is presented here. So yeah, that's the end of the video. So thank you very much. So now we have, again, a couple of questions just on the Mentimeter. So the platform at the moment is not public, so all the stakeholders of the project has access to the data, to the platform and the data there, but otherwise you will need to be like a customer or have some projects with us in order to access the platform. But just from the video, if you want to tell us a bit what you think about that, to give us some feedback, we will also put these two videos later on YouTube, so as well as the webinar recording, so you can review again what we are currently presenting. But yeah, please, if you are happy to value now, so that will be great. So far, in general, quite good feedback, so that's very positive. Thank you. Okay, so I think we can now please keep voting. We will review all the results later on. We can pass to the, I think there's another question more. Please, Gerard. Okay, so here we just wanted to know which of the features interest you. So there might be users that just want to access the data and download it. So they are not interested in visualizing the data because they have their own systems, but you might be interested also to visualize and download the data, or the third options, like you want a system that you can do both, download and visualize, but also do some basic analysis like measure, but also like maybe looking at how the data set can change over time or other analysis. So please let us know, independently of this platform, what you would like of these platforms for data in the forestry will be more useful for you. So yeah, so as expected, most of you would like to either just visualize and download, or also do some analysis online. So thank you very much. Please keep the voting, I will see you later on. I think, and then this is like the open question at the end, where you can tell us if anything else that you will need from these platforms, any comments, any type of time series analysis or visualization elements that you will be interested. Please tell us about it. Yeah, I must say, like the platform is like a commercial platform from GMB, but by using it and tailoring to the stakeholders use it of My Sustainable Forest, we have done lots of improvements on the past years, and we are always looking for new elements that can be useful for the users as well. So.
Thank you, Beatrice. I say that we keep this slide here so that if people drop any comments, we can discuss it. And I think we can take advantage of this last 15 minutes or so for some questions from the audience. So I'll ask all the speakers to be active and be here for this final Q&A. And please, if you have any additional questions, please drop it here in the chat so that we can I can directly to the specific panelist and we can solve it. We have a question here from in the chat saying whether the products are limited to specific countries or not. I think maybe Beatrice or Julia, you want to take these questions and provide a little bit more of information to the users, to the participants.
Yes, okay, thank you. I can answer. Thank you for the question. And yeah, we are open throughout the world in the sense that, okay, we have tested all these products throughout Europe just because our engaged end users were companies or associations or proprietors in Europe. But so far also we have already had some requests from beyond Europe. In some of the cases, for sure, we are totally aware that some adjustment of the algorithms is necessary for other areas just because of the changes in the biological conditions. But we have already done that in Europe itself, because we have tested the products from Mediterranean environments, Mediterranean ecosystems, to Central European, to northern sites. So that was part of the work schema and the methodology to be able to test it throughout Europe in different environments, because we know that we are going to encounter this situation as well if we go beyond.
Thank you, Julia. I hope that now the participant has a clear view on whether the product is limited to specific countries or not. I don't see any other questions in the chat. I'm not sure if it's because of the right, but if you have any questions, feel free to drop it. I think we can go back to a question which was posed to Angel that we didn't have the time to take into consideration. So the question was whether in the biodiversity product, shrubland species are considered as well as tree ones. So Angel, would you like to reply to this question?
Yeah. So far we are only working with dominant tree species. We would like to consider also shrubland species, but well, we thought that this would be a good starting point, and also it's easier to validate the product if we only consider the dominant tree species. So this is what we have now, but in a next version of the product, we think it would be great to add also shrublands and even some grass communities or whatever.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Angel, for your answers. I now see another answers, which was in the Q&A tool of Zoom, and another questions, which says, congrats for the complete project, which is a nice feedback to us. Really interesting. Have you ever applied the CO2 stock product after a wildfire to compare variation in stocks? If not, do you think that it could be used also to that target? I think this is a question to Inigo. So Inigo,
Yeah.
do you think you can provide an answer to this question?
Yeah, I already chat, but I don't know if only the person who
I see now that you have answered. Maybe you can just present it to everyone. So
yeah, sure. In terms of the project, we didn't have the opportunity to apply the CO2 stock after a wildfire. As it is based on LiDAR information, we would need to have a pre-wildfire and a post-wildfire flight to have the information. So as for now, we didn't do it, but of course it could be done, and I think it's very interesting. Sometimes LiDAR information is not available, but we now can have very particular area. I mean, we can fly very particular areas, small areas with UAVs, with drones, with LiDAR sensors. So if needed, we can have a wildfire or just a basic information on one moment of a particular area, and then if a wildfire happens, we can fly with a drone this particular area with LiDAR, apply the models, and see. And I think that's what this person is asking for.
Thank you, Inigo.
We can see the differences on carbon uptake due to the wildfire. So yeah, it would be great to have it. Yeah.
And I think I can also comment on these questions from the environmental accounting approach. For sure, if this can be done then with this LiDAR approach that Inigo said, it can also then mapped with the monetary account in order to also, for instance, assess the impact of a certain wildfire from an economic term. So I think there is this double application of this question that can be interesting. So thank you, Inigo, for replying to these questions. I don't see any other questions, but let's see if anybody animates to add additional questions. If not, I think we can terminate our sessions here. I don't know if Julia, you want to say something more?
No, perhaps it would be good if also Angel would refer to the validation issue that I think it was also raised up in one of the free answers. On the validation performed, especially with the biodiversity product, it was addressed to that particular one. So perhaps if, yeah, because all our products have been thoroughly validated, but if you want to add on any other comment, please, Angel.
No, just to say that, well, we have validated all our products with statistical and quantitative methods. In the case of biodiversity, as as you know, it's much more difficult because it requires some extensive field work. So we are working also on the quantitative validation of the biodiversity product, but so far we have some qualitative validation from the 6 local stakeholders that are involved in the project, and so far they are quite happy with the results, and they think that the product is quite useful, even if we maybe we should consider always some improvements and some things to change. But yeah, that's it. So far we don't have a precise quantitative or statistical validation of that product, because we need to collect before information about the biodiversity indices in the field, and that's not easy. Yeah.
Thank you, Angel.
Okay,
I think this comment of the validation was also on other products, so maybe there are other speakers that would like to comment on that. I see Inigo.
Yeah, thank you, Valentino. Yeah, if I may stress something related to as some of the questions were talking about the validation procedures in Mentimeter. In terms of LiDAR products, there's a double validation. The first one is just the statistical one, so we develop robust statistical validation systems, cross-validation, and so on. So, and we do a very thorough diagnosis of the models we develop. But after that, as Angel was just saying, we have this double validation on-site validation from the stakeholders of the project. So thanks to them, we know if in field is really working. So at least for the LiDAR products, we always have those two validation procedures.
Thank you, Inigo. I think this is a comment for us to reflect that maybe we need to provide to the users this information that maybe they were not able to find in the user guides or in the technical specifications. So thank you for those participants that have let us know these points. So I don't see any other questions. So I think we are on time for the closing. So from my side, I would say that I can leave the word to Julia to finalize and close this event. And I want to thank you all as a participant, as a virtual facilitator to this meeting, for your engagement and the feedback that you send us. So.
Okay, thank you, Valentino. And well, first of all, thank you to the nearly 100 people who enrolled into this webinar. It has been recorded and it will be uploaded into our website. So whoever wants to come back, and also the questions on Mentimeter will be slightly open, a little bit more time in case anybody wants to reflect and provide us with their feedback. That's always welcome. So thank you so much. The success comes from you and from all these bits and pieces that you've been commenting. So we always grow through criticisms and contrasts and your comments. So thank you for that. Second, if I may, I would like to highlight that these are technologies to something that is an extremely important resource, that are forests. Extremely important to economies, to gross national product economies, to family and to regional economies. And the nature of forests themselves is very fragmented, and something with which technologies can help is to bring together and to push forward this management of forest forestry sector. On top of that, the new technologies, these new remote sensing, non-invasive technologies to help out sustainable forest management are always useful, and I think they are taking a step ahead. Perhaps not so far, they are not fully universal, but they are becoming more and more used. So, and this is the purpose of this project and of this this webinar. And I think that is useful for all, for institutions, for associations of owners, for forest managers. So each one will have to know from their position what they can take up and how they can use all these new technologies. So this is our main purpose, the main purpose of My Sustainable Forest. We thank you all for knowing it a little bit more, what we do. Please come in contact with us. We will always will feel really happy and to be able to support you in your management. And that's my last word. Thank you so much, and take into consideration that technology really can help to bring us together for a better work and better job in this task of managing the forests in a sustainable manner. Thank you so much from all the team, from all the members of My Sustainable Forest Project. And as I say, from Portugal, Spain, France, Croatia, Czech Republic, and Lithuania, we thank you so much for the over 26 different countries that have been enrolled and interested in our products. Thank you to you all.